Welcome in to Other People's Shoes. I'm your host, Neil. Today, I want you to welcome in my guest, Andy. Now, Andy is so great. He is a dual threat kind of guy. What do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. Not only is he a real estate agent, but he's a personal trainer. So in two very dramatic ways, he can change your life. He can find you a house, and of course, he can work on the house that's you. That's, of course, your personal temple, right? He can make both dramatic changes happen. Now, listen to some of his insight. You ready? I am too. Let's go.
Hey, come take a walk with me. Not like you usually do. Do something different and put yourself in other people's shoes. Open up your mind and open up your eyes and change your direction, change your perspective.
Welcome into Other People's Shoes. I'm your host, Neil, and I'm with a longtime friend slash, we'll say acquaintance maybe even. His name's Andy, and I'm going to let Andy tell you a little bit about himself. But I'm trying to think when I first met you. Do you know when that is, Andy?
I have no idea. 2003, 2004.
We were working at Quiznos together.
Yeah.
So another Quiznos connection. If you remember, we had Gene Copley on our first episode. So Andy is from the, we'll say the Quiznos tree of acquaintances and friends that I've met along the way. So Andy, first off, I know you've been in the kind of weight loss, fitness, performing. I don't know how you say that exactly. Bodybuilding, is that a right way to say that?
Yeah, bodybuilding.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And when I said performance, I was like, man, that doesn't sound right. That sounds weird. But you've been doing that, and now you're venturing into some real estate stuff. So kind of give me a nutshell, like of Andy in a nutshell.
So I spent the majority of my youth just raising kids, and I always had this passion for fitness, but I didn't think I could make a living doing it. So I got a job managing restaurants, because it paid the bills and all that. And through a lot of soul searching and time and restaurant jobs that just seemed a little not really a good fit for me, I just took a leap and became a personal trainer at a gym and ended up doing really well at it. And that was about a decade ago. And in the process, I've met some really cool people. Made some great connections. About 5 years ago, I became a business partner at Aspire Fitness and won a multiple amount of awards, best trainer in the Valley. I've been on the cover of Healthy Living. Thinking about anything else I've done. I went and decided to try my hand at some competitions in bodybuilding. Won my first show, I believe, in 2014, and I won my class and followed up by two more in 2016. Oregon State won my class in that, and then I also won my class at the Seven Feathers show in 2016.
So help me out here. Your class, what does that entail?
So basically you're competing against people, and so there's 300 plus competitors. Obviously, there's women, there's different kinds, like there's bodybuilding, there's physique, there's classic physique. So there's different parts. And I competed in bodybuilding, physique, and classic physique. I've won the classic physique class for my height and weight.
So what is your height and weight? Do you mind sharing that?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was 5'8.5", and I compete at 190.
And I know this is like over the air, so people can't really tell, but your biceps are gigantic.
Oh, thanks, Neil.
I'm not hitting on you by any means. But,
we already talked about that.
But yeah, we did off air. But buddy, you're a specimen. That is for sure. So first question, then I want to, or maybe introduction more into your story. But are you still personal training? Is that still something that you're passionate about? Or is that
absolutely.
still something people could, if they were interested in looking your direction for that?
Yeah, absolutely. I still support the gym. We sold it back in September to a new amazing owner that's going to be an owner-operator. So I can step away after 11 a.m. But I train pretty much full-time still from 5 a.m. Sometimes I'll stay till noon. And I like to support the gym and go for memberships to help them financially and also build up just help people, And then after that, I get into real estate. I start looking up houses, connecting with people that are looking to buy or sell their house, and that job can be very busy or very slow. So same thing with personal training. So I'm probably still the busiest personal trainer in the Valley. I think 10 to 15 people before 11 a.m. is how many I train.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. Okay, so we'll get into this. So our topic, of course, no pun intended, but kind of a pun intended. We're talking about aspiring and what it means to aspire. So my first question for you, Andy, is why do you think people fail?
Lack of planning.
Okay. How so?
Well, if you don't plan, then you have no objective to what you're going to accomplish for your day or what you're going to accomplish in your life. You got to set your goals out there to say, hey, I'd like to see myself here the next month or 2 months or 3 months. And then you just take the appropriate steps. And you got to be, what's the right word? You got to be able to look past objectives.
Obstacles, hurdles. I mean,
Yeah.
You could throw in that, what's the word I'm looking for? Adjective, but. Yeah.
Right. You got to be resilient. And
Okay.
when you come up against something, you figure out, you don't have to have all the answers, but you got to know where to go to find them.
Right. Okay. So this according is, I got this off the internet. This is from lifehack.org. I don't know if that's a frequent site you visit, but lifehack.org. They said these are the 10 reasons why people fail. So we'll just blast through these pretty quick. Don't look before you leap. They don't want it enough. They look at alternatives. They give up, kind of what you were saying. No goal. Again, just reinforcing what you're saying. They don't heed advice. They listen to too much advice, too many excuses, all talk, no show, and then they misjudge. Would you agree? Again, you're training a lot of people, so I'm sure you come up against those that want to quit, that want to give up, because fitness, weight loss, it's not a quick fix, right?
No, it's a lot of work.
Right.
And yeah, I would agree with what you said 100%. Those are all reasons why I lose clients. And I also I come over their objectives to keep them coming in. Just keep them in here just enough where, they're not getting it on their own. They just need my help. So I'm here to help them, push them along, give them the calls, give them the reminders. Hey, I didn't see you today. What's going on? That's just the support and knowing there's an appointment there. And if they can't plan their day, I'll plan it for them. You got this appointment here as far as fitness goes. The rest of their life, I can't really help them with.
Well, unless they need a house, then you can help them with that.
I'll jump
too.
in with that.
Yeah,
I'll jump in with that.
Yeah.
No, fantastic realtor.
Yeah. No, a really good one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a few maybe. All right. So leading into this too, Andy, what inspires you? Not only as maybe a personal, but even as a professional. I mean, what comes to mind that you've gravitated to that really is inspirational for you?
For me, it's I've never been really money driven. I get a lot of satisfaction out of, it doesn't necessarily have to be my highest paying client or anything. When I see somebody willing to put themselves out there and work towards something extraordinary, and I get inspired from seeing people conquer things they haven't been able to. My life, I've been told so many things I can't do, and I see past it. I figure, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be able to do this because somebody told me I can't do it. Well, I get inspired when people tell me I can't do things because then I want to do it.
Do you have any personal examples of that?
Oh, yeah, lots. I mean, I was told, when I was younger, I wouldn't ever be able to. I was too small to play football, all these different things. And so I started working out, and I'm like, well, if I'm small now, what do I got to do to get bigger? How do I figure this out? So, I mean, being resilient and just reading books and taking in the knowledge and just absorbing it. And then not just that, but then actually applying the knowledge I've gained is a big one. Like, you can learn all about something, but if you can't do it or you're not willing to do it, it doesn't matter.
Nice. Why are goals so important to you?
Goals?
Yeah.
It just drives me, and I think everybody needs to have a goal out there. I mean, it gives you a reason to get up and say, "Hey, you get excited about it." Especially when you get close to getting to your goal. And for me, the journey is actually the largest part of the fun. Not once you get to that goal. Like it's say when I decided I wanted to win a bodybuilding show, it's like getting there and winning and holding my trophy. Yeah, that was satisfying. But not as satisfying as the 3 months prior I got to prep for it. I mean, I'm watching myself go through this.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. What does it feel like when you change someone's life? I mean, you're kind of changing lives in a physical sense through your physical training and through your outlet at the gym, but you're also now kind of changing people's lives in home ownership and finding people that right home to obviously have their family in. I mean, I was thinking about that as I was getting ready for our talk today, is that you kind of are in this great chasm of and maybe not even chasm, but in this great dynamic of really changing people's lives for the better. Could you maybe speak to that?
Oh, definitely. As far as the personal training goes, when I've been able to take somebody that's really struggled with this, well, if they do what I say and they follow my directions, and I see them change, and see how happy they are, see how much big a smile their confidence, like their mental health gets better. I mean, if they keep with it, they can stop paying me tomorrow, and I'm happy. But they got to stick with it. But and as far as real estate, I mean, I have this family I just helped get into a house. They were living in their RV, and they couldn't really afford to rent something. The guy just got a job, and I was able to figure out a way over that obstacle of how can I get this guy a loan, And I have some fantastic lenders I work with where we're able to take, because it was a job that he'd done in the past, and say, okay, well, technically he has this much experience, and all we needed to do was to prove his wages, and so they didn't have to go rent some house for a couple $1,000 a month. They're actually able to buy a house, a really nice one, for $1,600-1,700 a month, and seeing them pack their kids out of their RV. 3 kids is what they had, and they got themselves into a house after living in an RV for 3 months, which was really satisfying for me.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Just on a little side note, I don't know if I could live with my kid for 3. I only have one, and I don't know if I could live with them for 3 months in an RV.
Well, the first time I talked to him, I was like, I don't think this is going to work, but I'm like, let me make some phone calls.
Yeah.
And we figured it out.
That's awesome. Way to overcome that. That's really a cool story. What do you think is harder, buying a house or getting into shape?
Well, for me, buying a house is harder.
Why?
It's just more stress. I mean, for me personally.
Sure. That's what I mean.
Exercise for me.
Can't obviously speak for somebody else, but for you personally.
For me, I exercise is second nature. I just do it without even thinking. It's like, and I love it. So it's like, it's so easy for me to just go exercise and try and look at what I'm eating and all this. But buying a house is stressful. You're moving your family. You got kids, you got to set up the rooms, you got to pull wallpaper off, you
got to move,
you got to, furniture, you got to buy new stuff. There's a financial stress with it. And it takes a while to get it settled. And if you're married, your wife is definitely, you got to get the house set up the way she wants.
Yes. Amen to that. Right.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
Absolutely.
That cliche. Yep. I was thinking about that too, because I'm not the most, I know you can't look at me per se right now, but I'm not the most physically fit person. I can run a 5K though, so high five on that.
I know you love baseball.
I do, and I love college basketball, and I love all kinds of stuff. So I stay pretty active, but I was thinking about that. Like, what is harder for me to do, was buying a house or was getting into shape? And I have to say getting into shape, because there's so much more work involved. Like, I felt like buying a house was like that one-time event. Yes, there was a lot of lead up to it. There was a lot of stress, like you're talking about. But once I was in there and once I was good, I was like, okay, everything's good. But to maintain the fitness level, that seems like a lot more work. But that's just my opinion.
Right. It's a case-by-case basis.
Sure, absolutely.
Whatever, and some people, like most people, honestly, I'm not normal, but most people don't come to the gym and excited, like, oh, I'm going to exhaust myself really hard and I'm going to get sore. That's not usually like, it's like, oh, do we really got to do this?
Do we have to do this?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, we do have to.
Yes, we do have to. Yeah. So I came across this quote, It says, "What? It's not how good you are. It's how good you want to be. It's not how good you are. It's how good you want to be." When you hear that, what comes to your mind?
Well, I think that it makes sense. I mean, it's not where you're at right now. It's like, where do you want to be? Where are you going to be at? And I think far too often we take ourselves, we look at ourselves, and we judge ourselves with other people and say, hey, I wish I was there. But there's things in everybody's life that they're accomplished with, and doesn't mean that we can't get to that point. You know, if you want it bad enough, you can get it.
If you want it bad enough, you can get it. Okay, I like it. All right. All right, you ready to play a game?
Yeah, what's this game about?
Okay, so this game, it's called Senseless.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a senseless game. So we have a dice in a nice baby blue, light blue cup, because it's North Carolina.
Very nice.
Very nice. So I'm gonna let you roll, and I know we're kind of in a very peculiar spot. If you could see us now, it's very funny.
We should video this.
We should have videoed this. Okay, number 6. Nobody's rolled a 6 yet. You're the first one.
That's fantastic.
So roll a 6. So what 6 stands for? So it's the senses, by the way, because we have 5 senses, and so I threw in 6 because it's a 6 die.
Right,
Yeah.
6 cents.
6 cents.
Like the movie.
Yeah. Do you see dead people?
I do.
Oh, that's scary. You probably see a lot of dead people because they're walking in like zombies, right?
At 5 a.m.
5 a.m. they look like dead people. Do you offer coffee at the gym? Just on the side note, there is coffee.
Actually, we do. We have
Nice.
a crew downstairs, and I'll go make my clients coffee at 5 a.m.
That's awesome. So before we have you answer this one, gym hours. What are those?
So we open 5 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Sundays, I believe, it's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. as well.
Okay.
But that is always subject to change.
Sure. And then if somebody wanted to reach out to you as far as a personal trainer, how would they do so?
They would just give me a call, look me up on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm right there. You can find me in the real estate pages.
That's what I was just going to ask too. So if they are also not only looking to change their life on a physical sense, but even their home life situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my messaging on Facebook or Instagram, it's Andy, then Jon Howell, Howell.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. So here's question number 6. You ready?
Okay.
Who would you go to dinner with? You have a dinner date, dead or alive, any person you want. Who would you go to dinner with, and why?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
I know.
I had no time to think about it.
Well, that's kind of the reason why it's also called senseless, because it's just like really, it's kind of one of those senseless questions. But do you have somebody that kind of jumps to your mind? One person, by the way, not like, well, I want my grandma. Just you got one.
Well, it's
Who
interesting.
do you got?
Normally, I'm sure most would pick a celebrity or this or that. But
Sure.
honestly, like my grandfather
Ooh.
passed away when I was 14, and I had gotten into some trouble, believe it or not. And
That actually does shock me, believe it or not.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. It really does. No, I'm being serious. I know we tease a lot, but no, I really do mean that. That's shocking to me.
Felt like he passed away disappointed in me,
Oh.
And the last time I saw him, we didn't talk, and I always kind of regretted that. And it was stupid. I got in trouble and almost got kicked out of school, and we did something really bad. I had like a film container full of weed. You don't want to do that.
A film container full of weed?
Yeah.
Was that like the old real tool thing, like science?
Yeah, you got to remember
class?
this is 20 years ago.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wait,
Most kids don't even know what you're talking about.
26 years ago.
26 years ago.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Okay, so
and it was illegal back then.
It was illegal.
It was
back
a big
then.
deal.
Right. Oregon, by the way, is a something recreational. I don't know the law exactly, but basically you can have it recreational.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you get in trouble and you feel like he's disappointed in you.
Yeah, it just feels like there was things left unsaid, because we were really close, and we did a lot of fun things together. He taught me about shooting. He had a fantastic life. He accomplished a lot, and I just he didn't graduate high school. He joined the military when he was 16. Went to World War II.
Wow.
He did all these fantastic things in his life. and he didn't, he didn't follow all the rules himself. So it's like, but he was able to. He did this amazing business. He built a house from scratch, big 3-story house up in the mountains, and 40 acres. And I was just always looked up to him, like how he just. It didn't matter. It didn't matter he didn't have an education. He accomplished more and had more fulfillment in his life than anybody I knew. Like more hobbies that I can think of, from tying flies to hunting to fishing to he had a yacht. I never got a chance to go on it. So I think if I could just pick one person, I'd want to see him again. And
what would you tell him?
That that I think everything turned out okay. And I miss him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
okay. Anything else we need to know about you?
I'm sure there's a lot, but
we don't have that much time.
But you could always call me.
Okay, fair enough. Andy, first off, I want to say thank you. I know you've been busy, I've been busy, and I value, and I know I said this off air, but I'm also saying it on air. I do value the time that I get to sit with people and kind of walk in their shoes and walk from their perspective. And it is always a great pleasure getting to sit down not only with someone like you, because you have had some journeys and some paths and some things, and it's just really cool getting to know you a little bit better. So
yeah, I appreciate that, Neil, and I really look up to you and doing this, and we had a lot of fun working together.
We did.
Yeah,
we had some crazy stories. Even
some crazy things
in those days. But again, thank you for allowing us to walk in your shoes. So thank you.
Thank you, Neil.